day everyone, my name is Jean Oyet together with Kian Bandaban and Paulo Nilox. Our topic is about women and violence. Learning outcomes. At the end of this chapter, the student should be able to identify the various forms of violence against women, explain how even subtle forms of violence affect women, and articulate ways to prevent violence against women. Violence against women is a form of gender-based violence that harms women physically, emotionally, and psychologically. Because of their gender, it has often been normalized in many cultures and one was treated as a private family matter. According to the Philippine Commission on Women, laws attack the dignity and personhood of women. Feminist movement helped expose how widespread domestic violence and harassment were leading and awareness to protective laws. However, violence still exists today in home, workplace, schools, and communities. As stated by Kofi Annan, it remains a major human rights violations that prevent true inequality and social progress. Defining violence against women, violence has defined the Philippines as a gender-based violence causing physical, sexual, psychological harm to women stemming from inequality and oppression. It's less common for men experience violence purely and for gender humiliation. Type of violence against women. Violence against women falls under two main types, which is sexual, physical violence, both rooted in gender inequality. The text will detail for types from Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children Law 2003, physical, psychological, economic, and sexual abuse. It will also cover other violence types identified the Hulog Post manual developed by Arucan and Kalakasan partner based on their work and marginalized women. Sexual harassment is a form of sexual violence defined as coercions through the manipulations or intimidations. Philippine laws specifically cover demands for sexual acts by those of power, causing distress while women watch broadcasts in any unwelcome and offensive sexual behavior. Pornography is exhibit sexual expression for sexual purpose and controversial feminist topic debated as either exploitative and liberating with nuns distinguished from erotic arts. Economic abuse or violence depriving a woman financial independence by controlling her asset, property, or income or preventing her from working. So sexual abuse is a forcing unwanted sexual act including rape, marital rape, incest, sexual abuse of children, and molestations, and any unwanted touching. So these are the type of sexual violence: rape, gang rape, the lack of consent, marital rape, and incest.
I am Kian P. Rimandaban and I am the reporter for the Cultural Practices and Sexual Violence. Some cultural practices may be considered as form of sexual violence. For example, child brides, forcing a child in a cultural practices that can be classified as sexual violence. Next is the female genital mutilation, also falls into this category because it specifically involves acts that harm or person's sexual organ. Next is sexual harassment, is a form of sexual violence involving coercion. Next is the street harassment, is a sexual harassment in a public space. Pornography, explicit sexual content for sexual purposes. Prostitution defined as sexual acts for compensation. Sexual exploitation related to prostitution. And the last one is sex trafficking. Women are forced into sex slavery and trafficking through manipulation, false promises, debt, and limited opportunities by exacerbated by social stigma.
Sexual harassment, pornography, and economic abuse, violence are distinct forms of harm against women, ranging from coercive sexual acts and explicit sexual representation to financial control and deprivation of work. Violence against women has far-reaching consequences on their well-being, and societal roles and legal frameworks addressing it have evolved significantly, particularly in the Philippines since the 1987 Constitution and the 1995 Beijing Platform for Action. Effective violence prevention and response are hindered by enforcement issues, lack of awareness, cultural biases, and stigma despite existing legal frameworks.